We begin tonight at 6 with breaking news out of Greenwood. 2 people found dead inside a home.
And now police are trying to figure out how they ended up there. Ashton Hackman has been at the scene ever since we first learned about this story around 2 o'clock this afternoon. And now tonight at 6, he joins us live with the very latest on what he's learned from the scene there so far. Ashton.
Well, Anne-Marie and Dustin, it's a much different scene than when we first arrived here shortly this afternoon. We just saw as the coroner's office took both of those bodies out of this home, this brick and yellow one here on Greenway Street in Greenwood. You can see police tape still surrounds the home, and we've seen more police officers show up within the last half hour. Now, this started as a welfare check sometime around 10:30 this morning. We're told when officers went inside, they found 2 bodies. Now, right now, police tell us they are working to confirm how those 2 people did die. We've watched as police and crime scene techs have gone in and out of the home, and we've seen camera flashes coming from that second floor window. Neighbors say a woman and her child lived here and moved in only a few months ago. A neighbor who lives just a few houses over said she was shocked to hear what happened. Take a listen.
It makes me sick. It disgusts me. I've been here for 20 years once again, and this is the first time anything like this done ever went on over here. Other than that, it's quiet. Until the kids get out of school, it's quiet over here.
Now, later this afternoon, we did see police shift their focus to the car that was parked in that driveway. We saw them taking pictures, collecting some evidence, all of that taking place before they took both of those bodies out of the home. But right now, Dustin and Anne-Marie, an investigation still underway. We're waiting to hear a cause of death. Once we get that from the coroner's office, we will, of course, know more about what exactly happened inside this home. Guys.
Super tough. All right, Ashton, thank you.
And of course, we're going to continue to bring you updates on this breaking news on the air here on 13 News and online just as soon as that becomes available.
An Indianapolis man is sentenced to 10 years for hitting an IMPD officer with his car, leading then to a police shooting.
Police were called to the CVS near 16th and Meridian last November, and when they got there, they found Terrence Shane unresponsive in the parking lot. Shortly after, officers told Shane to get out of the car. He got out of the vehicle but did not listen to officers before getting back in, pinning an officer against the building, which led to the shooting.
IMPD issuing a statement saying in part, quote, "We are disappointed in the sentence today. We believe that those who attack our officers should be held fully accountable and face the maximum penalties allowed under the law."
Also tonight, police in the small town of Cumberland are frustrated by a series of juvenile shootings this summer.
And they've all happened really close in range to one another, a very close proximity. Rich Nye is mapping out the gun violence around one particular apartment complex in Cumberland.
This home security video may have captured suspects involved in the latest juvenile shooting. The video appears to show 3 young men who walked away from the house across the street with the blue garage doors.
Can I please get my phone?
This video is timestamped just before 4 p.m. Sunday. Around the same time, Cumberland police say a juvenile male was shot in the leg inside this house. The 3 people have a conversation by the tree. Just a few minutes later, one of the people runs across the yard and yells off camera to someone else.
Hey, you okay?
Cumberland police have made no arrest.
All of the shootings involving juveniles this summer in Cumberland have happened in or around the Knoll Ridge townhomes and apartments. In fact, in the last 5 years, 6 out of the 10 homicides in Cumberland have happened in this complex.
Back on June 27th, 12-year-old Jeremiah Cotton was shot and killed inside this apartment. Police say he was with a group of teens messing with a gun. No arrest. Police say a man and a juvenile were shot during an alleged drug deal July 26th. Juveniles are suspected in a shots fired incident July 31st, where a man was injured by shrapnel and glass. And then Sunday's shooting. Look at how close all these shootings are to each other. Just north of US 40 or East Washington Street in Cumberland on the far east side. Management at the apartment complex declined comment. Cumberland police issued a statement that includes, "We already include high visibility plans for that area in our regular patrol duties, with only having 2 or 3 officers per shift. They do a very good job of being seen and attempting to speak with the community there. But we do have other parts of town that expect our visibility and services as well." In Cumberland, Rich Nye, 13 News.
Cumberland police say they are in the process right now of hiring more officers and are working with some outside partners as well on solutions and high visibility equipment for areas of concern for the near future. We'll keep an eye on that. New details tonight in a shooting and hours-long SWAT standoff over the weekend.
And now a 31-year-old man is under arrest. He's accused of shooting a woman and then barricading himself inside of a home. This all went down Saturday night around 8:30 near Washington and Rural on the Near East Side.
Officers found a woman who'd been shot. When they tried to arrest the suspect, he barricaded himself inside the home. After about 4 hours, SWAT officers found him in the attic of that home and arrested him.
A quiet weather day across the metro area. It's been a soggy afternoon as we show you the vantage point from near Terre Haute, where it's been raining and heavily at that. Still have flood warnings, radar rain estimates nearing 5 inches in southern Vigo County, where the flood warning continues, where the rain continues. It's not as heavy as it was, but it's stationary, so additional flooding is very much a possibility, if not likelihood, on the western and southwestern part of the state. We've got clouds around the metro. Just a very slim chance that we're going to see anything in terms of rain before sunset. The upper low that's over the southwestern corner of the state will gradually drift a little closer to I-65 as we go through. Late evening, might have a downpour potentially. A lot of this action will fizzle out by tomorrow morning. And as we get you ready for the early morning hours, temperature is going to be a little warmer than we've seen the last couple of mornings. We're at 79 now with a comfortable dew point of 59. Quiet evening, more ahead in the 7-day forecast.
See you then, Sean. Thank you. Tonight, local broadcasting stations are responding to plans to shut down the Corporation for Public Broadcasting.
So this is the group that funds NPR and PBS stations all across the country. It announced plans to close after Congress slashed more than $1 billion in funding. So we do have some local stations, the PBS stations WFIU and WTIU, and they tell us they have no immediate plans to make operational changes, despite the fact that they will lose about $1.4 million.
The interim executive director for the station sent us a statement saying, in part, public media has endured for decades because of its deep local roots and public trust, and we intend to carry that forward. We're also getting reaction tonight to Governor Braun's announcement to give 3 state agencies immigration enforcement powers.
This is an agreement between Indiana and ICE, and at this hour, it is still pending. Jenny Runovich looks into it and shows us why immigration advocates say they're concerned.
Under the partnership, Indiana State Police, the Department of Corrections, and the Department of Homeland Security would play an expanded role in immigration enforcement. ICE telling 13 News, state troopers, for example, at a DUI checkpoint could flag someone and share information directly with ICE. Also, participate in task forces led by ICE. But immigration advocates worry local and state officers aren't experts on complex immigration issues and say expanded enforcement could lead to mistrust among all immigrants.
Are we getting the training to the people that are going to need it so that mistakes don't happen and people aren't unjustly detained for longer periods of time?
This is going to perpetuate that fear. This is going to perpetuate the feeling of I'm not welcome.
Another part of the partnership has the Miami Correctional Facility making 1,000 beds, or about a third of its capacity, available for immigrant detainees. The ICE agreements still pending. Training would take place after they're approved. Jenny Runovich, 13 News.